This Cardiff was announced, obviously many delays. I know we spoke a lot of people were after you about what's going on, who's Joshua's opponent, etc. Glad that it's finally done and dusted.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously a lot of people wanted the Klitschko fight. That fight will happen in March or April, providing we beat Molina. I believe Molina's a good test. You know, he's, in my opinion, a better opponent than Breazeale, who he's just beaten. Went 9 rounds with Wilder, come back with 2 wins. One of those in Poland, knocking out Thomas Adamek. So, you know, he's worthy. He's 8 in the IBF, he's 8 in the WBC, and he's got plenty of heart, and he will have a right go. That's the difference. And you know, I think at this stage in Joshua's career, it's the right fight. The Klitschko fight is putting it all on the line in the spring, which we'll do. We've had the blessing now of the WBA. So, you know, I think this is a good main event and a huge card as well. You know, I think not only is this a better fight than the Breazeale fight, this is a better card than the Breazeale card as well. So, you know, we went on pre-sale this morning, we sold out immediately. We go on general sale tomorrow, we'll sell out immediately. So, someone likes it, you know.
So obviously, Eddie, with Anthony being on pay-per-view now, consistently now, does it really make a difference who he fights?
Yeah, well, the only thing that makes a difference is the amount of buys you do.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you fight Eric Molina, you're going to do less buys than you're going to do against Vladimir Klitschko. But Anthony Joshua is a pay-per-view fighter. That's the truth. And the only variation is the number of buys and the strength of the undercard. If it's say a weaker opponent, because that's disrespectful to Molina. If it's a Eric Molina or a Dominic Breazeale, you're going to get a huge undercard. If it's a Vladimir Klitschko, you're not. So they're the variations. You know, a lot of people said, is Anthony Joshua, you know, is all his fights going to be on pay-per-view? Yes, they are. You know, that's the truth of the matter, because he is a huge draw. He's heavyweight champion of the world. And I think moving forward, you know, you can get the odd people saying about, oh, Molina this fight shouldn't be on pay-per-view. And then you look, when we fight Klitschko, there's going to be no complaints. When we fight Hay, no complaints. Wilder. So I think this is probably the last one of his, not learning process, but maybe the fights outside of the mega fights for Anthony Joshua moving forward.
After Klitschko pulled out last week with his half strength, rumours were that the two dominant people to fight Anthony were going to be David Price and Molina.
Yeah.
A particular reason why you're doing it for David Price?
I think the team decides, and the team felt that it was a bit of a no-win situation fighting David Price. You know, that fight was a fight, and listen, David Price can punch. You know, he's dangerous, but the fact is that he showed tremendous frailties, and he hasn't come back in fights to show that he's overcome them. I believe under Dave Caldwell, he's going to progress as a fighter, but he hasn't shown that yet. And if that fight's over in the first 30 or 45 seconds, we get laughed out of town. So yes, he can punch, and I rate David Price, but I want to see him have that win. If he would have spent the time since the Tepper fight having a decent win, 100% he was the man to get the AJ fight. But the team felt Molina was going to be a sterner test, more rounds, and also a good marker against people like Wilder as well.